Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Seán and Gary here from the Indie Wrestling Pod. You are about to listen to a very special interview that we had the chance to do this past Saturday with PWU and WWE UK star Tucker. So stick around, enjoy, and leave some feedback of what you thought in the comments.
Hello, how you doing, buddy?
Good, yourself?
Yeah,
Not too bad, not too bad.
Thanks so much for coming on to our show.
Thanks a million.
Not a problem at all, not a problem.
Right, Seán, so you can kick us off.
For, I suppose, a very small portion of people out there who don't know, tell us a bit about yourself and just basic details.
Basic details. I've been wrestling now on the independent scene for about 12 years. That makes me feel old. Yeah, so all over the UK and Ireland, basically. And then I sort of had like a year out from after having surgery and stuff on my knee, which was supposed to sort of end me, and then all of a sudden I'm wrestling for WWE, so it's been a crazy couple of years.
So, talk us about the injury, actually. Obviously, almost ended your career. When did that happen?
It'll be 2 years ago now, so it was in and around, it was summertime, about 2 years ago. Was having a match. I was actually a match for wrestling IE. I was actually wrestling as a Mexican at the time. And one of the weirdest things, it was like a counter from a test of strength, and I just heard this kind of crazy cracking noise, and I was like, oh, didn't sound so good. Went to stand up on my knee again, and then just my whole body sort of gave way. I finished the match, and I actually had a match the night after against actually Bonesaw and Damien Corbin, the Kings of the North as they're now known. And it was me and Lufer Valentine against them in a tag team match. And I had it strapped up, and that morning of that show I actually came down the stairs on my butt thinking, I don't know how I'm doing this show tonight, like.
So, how did you get into wrestling in the first place? Like, what was the kind of childhood, this is what I want to do kind of moment?
It was actually my brother who sort of turned me on to it. He was sort of watching it. He's a bit older than me now, so he would be in his 30s now. And the first time I seen it, I absolutely loved it. So that was pretty much love at first sight.
Do you have any heroes growing up as a kid?
First favourite wrestler was actually Kane, believe it or not. And then I sort of warmed to the likes of like Stone Cold and stuff like that. I was always a Stone Cold guy.
I'll be honest, Kane scared the crap out of me when I was younger.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, maybe I just felt like he had to be my favourite, or you'd tell me.
Yeah, it was him, The Undertaker, and I forget the other guy. But they scared the pants off me when they were, especially
absolutely.
In the late 90s. Especially the late 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
Did you ever see the picture that surfaced of Kane wearing the superhero cape on the house shows?
No, I never seen that. No.
Oh, it's excellent.
So this is actually a fan question from Eddie Smith. Is there anyone in WWE would you like to wrestle currently at the moment?
There's a long list of guys I would love to wrestle in WWE. Obviously, top of the list is for most guys is probably likes of John Cena. For me, I think AJ Styles would be a personal one I would love to work with.
Oh, nice one. AJ seems to always pop up, alright, yeah, definitely.
Whenever we ask this question, everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think he was just such a big inspiration for guys like us, like guys who are a wee bit shorter, smaller, and he's now sort of showing that like WWE's completely changed the landscape now. You don't need to be 6'6" anymore to be sort of stealing the show.
Exactly, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So we have a question. We have another fan question here from a young PWU fan named Jack. When are you going to kick Luther Valentine's butt?
Hey Jack. Well, I think it's scheduled for August 26th, as far as I know. I'm finally going to get my hands on Luther Valentine 1-on-1. Ironically, red panty night, so that's the night of Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather as well.
Oh.
So there'll be 2 knockouts that night if all goes to plan.
I think I know what match I'd rather watch anyway.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you two fighting out than those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Theirs will be a bit more of a spectacle. Ours will definitely be more of a fight.
Yeah, definitely. Who from the past or present would you like to wrestle? It's a question from the guy that runs our podcast, Nick.
Past or present, WWE or
Any company.
Anybody, any place, any time.
WWE wise, I would probably be Shawn Michaels. Has always been a big inspiration for me and stuff, and he's probably one that comes up a lot for you guys as well.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Independent scene, I would actually love to wrestle Justin Shape. I was supposed to wrestle him years ago, and then the whole thing kind of fell through, and I never got the chance to. So he would definitely be on my to-do list.
You're the second person to actually say Justin Shape. Wreck-It Rogers wants to wrestle him as well.
Oh yeah, that's a match I'd love to see actually.
Yeah, just we've already got to really speak to Wreck-It a couple of weeks ago, but now since then, like we've kind of, he's an absolute funny guy. He is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Great. What was your reaction for when you heard you were going to be taking part in the UK title tournament?
Pretty shocked and sort of overwhelmed by the whole thing, but excited at the same time. So we had all sort of done like the WWE tryout about a month or so before, and then we had been flown out for basically like a medical and stuff. And I think it was a guy, Dan Humphreys, who would be head of sort of stuff like that, was sort of saying, okay guys, this is the plan, and Triple H and Michael Cole are currently flying in. There's going to be a press conference tomorrow about a UK Championship tournament, top 16 in the UK. And you just sort of seen like the whole room just went silent. Everybody was looking at each other like, what the hell?
Yeah, I say it was quite to be obviously be one of the 16 guys. Obviously, it's obviously a huge privilege.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially given the level of talent in the UK and Ireland right now as well.
Yeah, because I watched both shows live, and I tell you one thing, it was probably one of the best things I've seen this year currently from WWE, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, the show was awesome, start to finish.
Like the likes of yourself and Jordan Devlin doing yourselves very proud. Yeah. Obviously being with PWU and OTT.
Yeah.
So.
The thing with the story for me was, my mum, who just never really liked wrestling, was texting me about night 2. So she was up watching night 2. She couldn't believe Pete Dunne had beat Mark Andrews, and she was a massive Mark Andrews fan after that tournament.
Yeah, a guy who I've seen many times in OTT. I tell you one thing, the guy himself, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, like yourself, and everyone really in the 16 are obviously quite very good guys. So all 16 you deserve to be in it. If I'm being honest,
there for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. I was obviously surprised I was actually surprised Tyler would win. I thought Pete was going to win, especially with the way they built him up in the tournament.
I thought we were going to see Pete versus Regal at some point.
We might get that at some point.
Yeah, possibly.
What's that?
We might get Pete Dunne versus William Regal.
Oh yeah,
because the way
that's a match everyone would like to see, isn't it?
So we have a question here from a user on Reddit. Is there anybody currently on the Irish scene that you'd say is one to watch or a definite up-and-comer?
There's so many guys on the Irish scene now. It would definitely be one to watch. I think the no-brainer is Curtis Murray, who's making a lot of noise right now. Dave McKinstry. Those two are probably the best two technical wrestlers. They have their sort of wrestling wise, they've got everything pretty much nailed. I'd say, as you were saying earlier on there about Wreck-It, I think that there's nobody out there at the minute feeling it as much as Wreck-It is, and there's nobody I can think of making as much noise so quickly as him. He's just sort of exploded and found himself almost.
Yeah, speaking of Wreck-It, actually, I must say I enjoyed his entrance at the last PWU show. I tell you what, I tell you one thing, I'm hoping to come up in October for I forget the name of the show. It's October 1st. Is it a kind of ladder match type of situation there?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, now I don't know the name of the show.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're okay. I don't know the name of it either. I can't think.
Thankfully. No, one of the lads showed me a video clip of him coming out with the Undertaker.
Keep on rolling, baby.
Oh man, that was absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the guy. No, I'll tell you, he's another. Yeah, as you agree, I definitely agree. He's definitely up. He could be one to watch, definitely.
Yeah. He's sort of got the the aspect of it down. He doesn't have to do 1,000 flips to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And it, just like you're saying there, man, like the thing that was remembered from that show was his entrance was probably in the top 2 or 3 things remembered that night,
So yeah, next question from me. What was it like receiving? Did you receive any guidance from William Regal while doing the 2 nights?
William Regal was awesome. He was really, really good. Super nice guy. And just great to talk to in terms of how knowledgeable and stuff he is. We actually did like a seminar with William Regal at the WWE tryout and stuff, and even just sitting, listening to him talk about the business and getting to ask him questions and the answers and the details he would give you were always really good.
You were on the recent UK tour for the WWE. You did the
Yeah.
and Belfast. So how did it feel to actually compete in your own home, like in your own backyard, but under the WWE banner?
That was surreal. Really, really. It's one of those things, even now, I'm like, did that really happen? You have to kind of look at the pictures and be like, God, that actually happened. So, even the day of the show, I took like a walk around the Odyssey when the arena was empty and stuff, and just sort of tried to take it all in. It was awesome. I'd say to date, probably one of my favourite moments in wrestling so far.
If you could book one match with anybody from any time period, who would you book and why? Like
if you were given
just
the booker's pencil and said like these 2 book a match.
2 wrestlers. I think AJ versus Shawn Michaels is something I would have loved to have seen, and I'd heard the rumours of it happening, and then obviously it didn't, but I always thought that would have been awesome, like.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you've obviously did some work for OTT up in Belfast. Would we ever see you down on one of the Dublin shows?
When OTT started out, I used to always do the OTT Dublin shows, at the start, and then that was just before I'd sort of got the knee injury and stuff, and then OTT sort of exploded. But even from those first 5 or 6 shows down there, you just knew something special was kind of happening. You could just feel it, and the atmosphere from day one has just been outrageous in the Tivoli.
Yeah, it's like we've been going now for about 18 months now.
Excellent, yeah.
So you can definitely.
Yeah.
We went from, I think, when Ken Anderson came down for a show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was
it's just been incredible. I've seen people I never thought I'd ever get to see live.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like,
there's so many, there's so many great guys. Sorry, go ahead, Tucker.
I think the last match I had down there was me versus Pete Dunne, actually. On Scrappermania 1 it might have been. And that's just another guy who's just leaps and bounds now. Pete always was like the perfect wrestler, and now he's just kind of found himself. Do you know what I mean? He's just got the bruiserweight thing down, and he's got his swagger and his character.
So yeah, what is your current opinion on the current shape of Irish wrestling and British wrestling in general?
I don't think it's ever been better, to be honest. There's so many more shows and so many more opportunities for up and coming guys. It's awesome, and it just seems to be getting stronger and stronger and better.
So, outside of wrestling, do you have any hobbies or interests?
More so like a bit of family time, and have like a dog called Maggie. Hanging out with her and stuff, and then just chilled out stuff. So I'm pretty easy pleased that way. Simple things in life for me. And then obviously just gym and training and things like that.
So, if you weren't wrestling, what would you be doing, or what would you like to be doing right now?
If I wasn't wrestling, I'd do a wee bit of personal training still, so it would probably that would just become my main focus, I imagine. Just seeing other people succeed and helping them achieve their goals.
Actually, one question we haven't asked you yet. Who actually who trained you to become a wrestler?
Originally, I trained in UCW Ulster Championship Wrestling. That's a really long time ago now. So it since closed and then became Pro Wrestling Ulster. My original trainers were Bonesaw McGraw, as you would know him,
Oh, yeah,
Cunningham. and Grant Davison, who's better known as Duncan Disorderly.
Oh, Duncan.
Oh, yes.
we know them quite well.
I've heard some horror stories about their training camps, alright.
Yeah, you definitely learned a few things about life anyway.
Speaking of that, do you have any stories of like any road stories at PWU?
Of PWU, trying to think of one that would stand out for me. There's been so many of them. Even a couple of shows ago, I think I was wrestling Harry Smith, and we would always play like ribs on each other, like during shows. Like, oh, your music's on, it's time to go out. So like it would almost happen every show, but it legit happened at that show. So I was like standing around thinking it must be nearly time to go, and standing down. So they give the run up 2 flights of stairs. So like someone comes running down, like, your music's playing. And I was kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, every show. And they're like, no, like, legit. So if you ever see that entrance, you'll see me. I'm blown up before I even get to the ring. Full sprint mode.
So, going back to the UK Classic, you had an absolutely excellent match with Tyler Bate. In my opinion, one of the matches of the tournament. Would you be interested in facing him again, or are you focused solely on Pete and the title?
I would love to wrestle with Tyler again. Obviously, Pete has the gold, so he's everybody's target. But I would definitely love to mix up with Tyler again. He was awesome, and after hitting him with that super kick and him going out of the ring, wonder what would have happened if he didn't fall out of the ring.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So what? Yeah, in terms of WWE doing obviously they're thinking of doing a weekly show. Obviously that's good for the likes of yourselves. So obviously you'd be hoping to go for the gold at some point.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
It'd be nice to see either yourself or Jordan Devlin win. I think be very good.
Ireland.
Yeah, be fantastic.
The next UK.
If WWE were to do another UK Classic, would you like to be back in it again?
100%, of course. It was a great experience, the whole thing. So I think everyone who was in it is probably itching to get back there and do more and more for them. So fingers crossed that's sooner rather than later.
Have you been to the Performance Centre?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay. No. That's perfect. So yeah, our final question is, do you have any advice for anyone that's looking to get into wrestling?
Main advice is probably just go for it. Don't hesitate. A lot of people will sort of be like, oh, I'll go and do this and I'll train this way before I go, and you're better off just sort of going into it head first and kind of just embracing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in any of the backstage drama or politics or anything. Just be yourself, keep yourself to yourself, and ask the right questions to the right people, and then apply it to your work.
Oh, perfect. Actually, before you go, obviously you got to meet Triple H, so what's the main man like?
Yeah, he was great. Actually, really funny guy, really nice guy as well. So, one of those people when you see him, he's a big dude, like, so he's pretty intimidating, but as soon as you speak to him, he's just a super nice guy.
That's perfect. So yeah, Tucker, thank you very much for taking your time out to talk to us today.
Yeah, thanks a million for coming on.
No, not a problem, guys. No worries at all.
Yeah, good luck actually with PWU and obviously further on with your WWE career. Hopefully you get the gold.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm sure I will. Don't you worry about that.
No problem. Thanks, Tucker.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So yes, that was the WWE UK and PWU star Tucker here on the Indie Wrestling Podcast.
Special thank you to Mr. William Regal for setting this up.
Yeah, Tucker had to ask for permission because obviously he is a WWE superstar. So obviously,
that's the boss man.
So thank you, William Regal. Thank you, Tucker,
much.
and thank you to Nick, our boss, basically,
For setting this whole thing
setting it up. So yeah, we'll be back next week.
That has been our special interview with Tucker. I have been Seán. You've been
Yeah.
Gary.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/indie wrestling pod, on Twitter at indie_pod, and on YouTube at youtube.com/indie wrestling pod.
Yes,
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So we'll be back next week, hopefully with another interview.